That's good.
All right. We're live. We're recording. We're both in the picture. Do we just look at the camera or do we look at each other?
I love staring into your eyes, Sheldon.
Looking at you too.
Your beautiful blue eyes.
Thank you. All right. So this is episode number 1 of my podcast. I'm just starting it.
Do you have a name for it?
Yes, I've tossed a few names around. The best one I came up with was Area 519 Talks. So just local people from the area, people who I think are interesting, that I can have a conversation with, people doing interesting things, people helping people. It's a beautiful thing. This is David Lochner. He's my best friend. We've been friends for 25 years.
About that?
About like October 1995.
When I moved out of my house and moved to the river.
You moved out of the house and moved down to the river. It was a trout derby in Bayfield, and Dave. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the camera. But we're kind of explaining what the fuck's going on here. So Dave moved out of his house because he quit school.
My parents' house.
Or maybe you just explain a little
Well,
just so people know how we know each other.
Okay, so basically the story was Mr. The vice principal at my high school, he called me into the office.
Mr. Girth.
Mr. Girth. And that was on October 12th?
I know it was 95.
So 95. I think it was October 12th. Anyways, he said to me, you missed too much school, you can't miss another class this year. And I said, well, trout derby starts tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow. This trout derby's like a religion. So he said, well, you have your choice. You don't show up to school tomorrow, you don't show up again. Took my backpack off, took my books out, set them on the chair, walked out of the office, walked through Clinton, hopped on County Road 13, stuck my thumb up for Bayfield. And my parents always told me, if you ever drop out of high school, you're out. So I figured, well, I'm not going to let them kick me out.
Such a stupid rule.
I know, right? Well, it was one of those, we want you to stay in school things, right? Like, fair enough. They're trying to be good parents.
So nice.
Yeah. So anyways, I figured I'd beat them to the punch. They can't kick me out if I leave. So I went home, house was locked up. And of course, at that point, my parents wouldn't even let me have a key to the house. So I broke into the house, grabbed my fishing gear, and figured, I'm moving to the river. So I moved to the river. And I met Sheldon down at the river. We'd met each other a few times previous.
We knew each other before that, just casual friends. But yeah, I had a little apartment of my own in Clinton, and I was
little.
Yes, very, very tiny little bachelor.
A bachelor apartment.
Yeah, one room with a shitter, basically, is what it was.
That's all it was. When we folded out the couch, there wasn't even room for somebody to sleep. No, John did sleep on the floor.
I slept on the floor.
Or you slept. John and I cuddled on the bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had these giant pillows that Oma's grandma, made. They were pillows. They were probably about, what, like that?
Yeah, they were like 3 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah, 3 feet by 3 feet square. Great big pillows.
Depth to them.
My Oma made, and they were like this thick. So Sheldon would sleep on those on the floor, and John and I would cuddle on the bed.
Yeah. So John,
a few awkward moments there.
John's another buddy of ours, and he spent quite a bit of time there.
Sheldon's my best friend, and I'm Sheldon's best friend, and John's our best friend.
Yeah, he's we fight over him. So. Constant custody battle.
He is a good guy. He will do anything for you.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
So anyway, that's how we know each other. And seeing as this is my first podcast, I wanted to do it with somebody that I'm very comfortable with and that I could have a conversation with very easily. The conversation flows.
I'm sure you'll see me again somewhere.
Yeah, Dave will be very much a regular on Area 519 Talks.
So what if you have someone with a 416? Like Chris has a 416 number.
Yeah, I thought about that. And I thought about
He lives in 519, but his number's 416.
I did really. And I also thought, Area 519 is limiting myself. Because, maybe I want to get somebody with a 905. Like now I'm like branching off into Toronto, shit like that. But I don't know. I just like the sound of Area 519.
Well, if they're in Area 519 when you do the podcast, that counts, doesn't it?
You know what? That's a good point. There's the loophole.
You got a loophole. There's always a loophole.
Area 519, as long as we're in the area code of
There you go.
There we go. We just solved the problem.
The intention originally, I think, was mostly people from the 519 that live.
That's right. That's
in the
right. Yeah,
519
like local people doing interesting things. Somebody that, So the whole reason why I wanted to do this podcast, I got into Joe Rogan, as many of you who hopefully listen to this probably also have heard of Joe Rogan. He's got like the #1 podcast, as far as I know, like on the planet. He's got like over 6 million subscribers.
It's a lot.
He was quite famous beforehand, but I was listening to him, listening to Joe Rogan, and I was just inspired by it. I was like, I could do that. Like, how hard is it to get?
You're a people person.
I am a people person.
I'm not.
We're doing this, and
Yeah.
seem,
Yeah, but that's because I'm sitting here with you, and I'm
That's
not
right.
actually conceiving the fact that there's going to be millions of people watching this.
At some point, I may have 1 million people see this video, and I relish the thought of the day when I see that a million hits or views of this video. So yes, at some point in the future. But yeah, I think I could do that. I know I can do that. So I decided let's do a podcast. So then I was trying to figure out, let's say, okay, so I want to model it after Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's got the #1 podcast.
Well, you got me there because I've never watched a Joe Rogan podcast, so I don't know what we're modeling after.
Well, we're not right now. We're two idiots sitting in front of a cell phone camera right now. Very non-legit way to do it, but hey, we're doing it.
So what does Joe Rogan do?
It's a start.
What does he do differently?
Well,
Does he have like that microphone hanging overhead? And...
Well, he's got like a studio, and he's got like a big table with a bunch of shit on it.
I bet it's not as nice as this one.
No, it's definitely not as nice as this table.
You can't see it there.
And we can talk about this table.
All you can see in that is dust. Here, let's get
very dusty, actually.
Dust
Wow,
dust.
that really shows up on the screen. You need some fucking pledge and a rag. It's better.
There, okay, look at that.
That's better.
Wow.
But this is a very nice table. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about this table for a minute. How much?
Sure.
We were just talking about this table before we started. How much resin is in this table?
I think there's about 9 gallons of resin in
9 gallons of resin. So how much is that in a dollar figure?
About my cost is about $1,500 in resin.
$1,500.
12 to 15. I didn't keep exact track.
In resin. So yeah, you can see now that he's got rid of all the dust.
You can see the shine.
You can see the shine, but
That's all you can see.
But you can't see the depth. Like there is like spots in the table, like here and at the end, where there's like 3 inches of resin. Where you're actually, it's like you're looking in like a frozen pond, and it's like ice, and you're looking down through the ice that's crystal
Try showing
clear.
them with the camera, see if that'll work.
I won't show up on the camera.
Yeah.
But no, this is a beautiful table.
And there's carpenter ants in it all over the place. And
There's carpenter ants in
There's
here?
carpenter ants. Yeah. If you look, there's one right there.
Oh, okay.
There's an ant there. There's an ant
Yeah,
there.
there is too. So it's really like an
Yeah,
aquarium.
there's an
full
ant
of
there.
Dead ants.
There's
Frozen
about
in
10 of
time.
them.
Very cool.
Yep. Juniper.
No, this is a very nice table. But anyway, yeah. So back to Joe's setup.
Yes, Joe.
So he's got like these cool
Good old
microphones, like with like booms and stuff that you can move around, and he's got like the headphones and stuff. And he gets like, well, obviously he gets famous people as guests.
I'm famous.
You're somebody. Dave, a lot of you watching this probably already know who Dave is, and you probably know who I am. Obviously, when we get to 1 million views, people won't know who we are personally. Then we'll be famous at that point.
So should we do one of those cheesy promotion things where we do a giveaway at 1 million views?
We'll see what
Total.
happens. When
All
we do
total
it.
1 million views.
We'll see.
Not even for this podcast, but for in general. Once you hit 1 million.
What do you mean, like a giveaway?
I don't know. People are always like, "Hey, when we hit 1 million views, we're gonna randomly give away to an afternoon with us."
Like to hang out with us?
Yeah.
Like spend a day?
No, an afternoon. A day is too much.
I don't know, let's maybe when we get to like 750, maybe we can think about
750 or 750,000.
that. 750,000.
Oh, okay.
So let's just not get too. I do have some high expectations.
But you're not really sure if you want to hang out with somebody else yet for the day.
I don't know. But anyway, I just I wanted to do a podcast, so I figured, you know, what the hell, let's just do it. I've been making excuses on why not to do it and all the reasons why I can't start. You know, you need to shut your phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
It's extremely rude.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, I was wanting to do this for I think 6 months ago when I first started.
At least, yeah.
6 months ago when I first
And you're all like, "Hey, what do I need for all this technical stuff?" And
Yeah. I was trying to I was talking to guys.
you wanted to Joe Rogan it right
Yeah, I
off the bat.
basically wanted to be like, have a Joe Rogan set up off the bat with like all these fancy mics and headphones and computers and, you know, and editing these videos and like I don't know how to edit. I don't have the foggiest clue how to edit a video. I don't even know what editing is. It just means you cut out the bad shit or something like that. Like if somebody says fuck too many times,
You're like, "Fuck," and then
you can cut.
delete.
I don't know. Like or inappropriate shit. I don't know. I don't know how to edit. Obviously.
Well, we did have this discussion earlier before we started the podcast. This isn't totally spontaneous, in case you were wondering. We did have a discussion about our podcast etiquette.
Yeah. So we came up with some etiquette rules. Some of the rules, and some of it's, you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's no talking shit about particular people, like calling out their names.
You can talk shit about them.
Yeah, you can talk.
But you
shit.
can't say who you're talking.
Yeah, we don't
shit
want to
about.
like start calling people out and be saying, "Oh, remember that so and so," and then actually speaking their name. Like, I don't want to have people on here and dragging somebody's name through the mud. That's just not cool. I don't want this to be an avenue to do that. Like, I want, you know, if you have something positive to say, you have something nice to say about somebody.
Okay, people get it. That's boring. Let's talk about something more fun.
All right, okay. And then no personal information about
I just said that's boring. Let's talk about something
and
else.
not too many F-bombs.
Not too many.
A few.
F-bombs.
A few's fine, but not because your mom could watch this.
Right.
And your mom respects me.
Until she watches this.
Until she could. I don't want to change Dave's mother's opinion of me. So for that reason.
Now there's one thing about Sheldon, is if I invite him to my mom's for dinner, he never says no.
Never. I will never say no to a home cooked meal by your mother. It is
The Diane Lochner home cooked meal.
That is the finest home cooking I have ever had. So yes, it is. If you ever, for whatever reason, have the opportunity to dine at the Lochner residence, take advantage of that.
$69.99.
Well, I've never had to pay for it.
No, but you're special.
I am special. What else we got?
We got a ton of stuff, but it's just got to flow.
Well, tell me about it. Like, what have you been up to? Like, I haven't even seen you in a couple weeks.
What I've been up to?
Like, how's business? What are you doing with
Business. There's been some big business changes.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, I have a woodworking company.
Yeah, here's an opportunity.
Yeah, I guess.
Talk about
Take
your
a little
business.
plug. DL. Okay, we'll plug it, right?
Yeah.
DL Creations is an amazing woodworking company in Bayfield, Ontario. We specialize in high-end live edge products.
This is what this table is actually is a very.
Although all you can see of the table is shiny right
in
now.
dust. So, but
Well,
it
no,
is,
they got rid of the dust, most of it. There's a little bit here still, but we got rid of most of it. Anyways, yeah, we got through some big changes there. We had somebody in there for a while that didn't work out, so we've had to move on from that.
Right.
and that's presenting a lot of challenges in the way of warranty work and smoothing things over the customers. Personally, it's been a bit of a disaster, and yeah.
That's it? That's how you want to promote your business?
Well, the business is awesome.
Or you got any,
All people need to do is walk through the door and see it.
like, what kind of stuff are you making? What are you building? Like, what's something that somebody might be that's watching this might be interested in?
Jeez, it's hard to describe without pictures. You really got to see the work to.
Well, are you making
grasp
tables?
it.
Are you making
make
chairs? Are you making
No.
futons?
No, we don't make tables. We don't make chairs.
Wooden
We don't
mugs? Like, what are you making?
We make.
Like,
We make.
ballpark it. We
make
what do we do?
beautiful live edge tables. We're getting into a lot of the resin work lately. Sofa tables. Basically anything you want that's not like fine carpentry. We don't do cabinets or
Right.
anything like that. That industry's gone for a total different turn, in that, 100 years ago somebody would hand make the entire cabinet, and now most cabinet makers will pretty much pre-order the parts and assemble them for you.
It's like IKEA shit.
Pretty much. Like, there's a company now that just makes doors, and you order the doors in the sizes that you need.
Right.
And you just pretty much put everything together and deliver it to the customer. Whereas what we do is more of like, you come in and everything we have is locally sourced.
Right.
It's all urban salvage is the term for it.
Okay.
So they're all trees that were cut down because they were leaning on the neighbor's house, or they were dying, or they're clearing a lot to build a house, whatever. So they're all cut down for a reason other than the lumber, and
Right.
would have gone to waste. 50
Right.
years ago, it would have all just firewood or
Right.
dump it somewhere else. So we saw this up, we dry it, and you can come in and pick out any piece you want and be like, this is what I want done with it, and we'll do it just for you. And it's a piece that'll last for your lifetime, your kid's lifetime, your grandkids will enjoy it.
Right.
The memory of me and the person who purchased it will be gone, and that piece will still be around.
Right.
And everyone's totally unique, totally your piece.
So somebody walks in with a vision, and then you just basically make that vision into a reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The best pieces that if we turn out are the ones where, like, this is the basic measurements of the space, this is the kind of color tone we're going for in the wood. It's up to you. Use your artistic creativity.
Okay.
That's the best work that comes out of our place.
What would it be, either since you've started this or recently, the most interesting thing that you've created for somebody through somebody else's vision?
Probably the most captivating one to see in person is the Ashwood. It's a restaurant in Bayfield, or restaurant and hotel, and they came in and they said, we bought this place, we got all these dead ash trees from the Emerald Ash Borer, and we want to take that and put it into this restaurant and hotel. So we got all the trees taken down. The timeline was ridiculous, because they came to me in November and wanted to have it done by May. Well, the trees are still standing, so we had to get those trees taken down. We had to mill that lumber. We had to get it all dry, and then get everything built.
Right.
And it was like a ridiculous, I can't remember off the top of my head, it was 30 some or 40 tables, a bar top that was 27 feet, 5.5 inches long, 3-inch thick ash, 28 bathroom vanity tops, and then the reception desk. And you've seen this.
I've seen,
reception
yes,
desk.
I've
It's
seen
phenomenal.
everything that he's talking
It's this log. I can't even remember how many ton this log is now. It's a log about that big around. Can't even fit that in the camera. And we got this whole log. We had to take the whole front entryway out. And we had an excavator in there with the boom, and the skid steer still had to help lift it.
Yeah, I say you had like a skid steer in there.
The skid steer was backed right into the restaurant because the excavator couldn't lift the log to get it in there. And I had routed off spots on the bottom so it would sit flat, and we put spacers underneath. They actually tiled around it. Like, that thing's going nowhere. And when you walk by this thing, you can't help but rub your hand on it.
Yeah,
It's so sexy.
and I've seen the bar top, and I've
Yeah.
sat in there and had dinner on the tables and stuff.
That was probably the most incredible one. And that was all from the trees to the treasure,
Yeah.
all their own. That's our thing, is like from the trees to the treasure.
Right. What else have you done? Like, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, I don't know. We do so much stuff. It's ridiculous.
All right, cool.
It's hard to even remember sometimes. When I first started, I remembered every project that I did, and I actually started in here. This is where I started. It was this trailer. I was living somewhere else, so we took this place and turned it into a wood shop. My floor is still a disaster because of all the resin and varnish and everything else that's on the floor and stain. But
Yeah.
it all started in the trailer, and then people wanted more. But when I started, I could remember every single thing that I made.
Right.
And now it's not that I don't have passion about every piece. It's just
You do so much.
so
You
much
can't
now that
remember.
you can't remember everything.
It's like me trying to remember every shit spreader I've ever painted.
Exactly.
It just
When you first started, it's like, yeah, that red's great. Now you're like,
no, that lasted a week.
but even when you painted planes,
Yeah. No, there's still. Yeah.
or I helped you for a while with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of projects that I do remember, but for the majority of them,
Yeah, just certain ones stick out in your head.
But your yard definitely looks like shit, though.
Yeah.
That's a complete eyesore.
Yeah.
Dave has, in the summertime, he actually has really, really beautiful gardens in his front yard, but right now they just look like hell.
And I don't even know what I'm going to do with those gardens this year.
I think you should just plant grass.
No, I want to grow stuff. I'm going to grow Christmas trees. I know that.
You're gonna grow Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm. Christmas trees and sweet corn. That's on my list for sure.
Christmas trees.
Yeah. Everybody loves Christmas trees.
Yeah, but what's the turnaround like from the time you plant to the time you can?
5 years.
Okay, so you're thinking ahead. And then sweet corn.
Yeah.
So how much sweet corn?
I haven't decided yet. Still trying to figure that out.
Like,
Because I have one lady that's very interested in using some of this space. She does a lot of herbal stuff.
like
That's what she wants to
herbal
No, not like
Herbal?
herbal, like
stuff.
actual like. I'll have to ask her if she wants me to plug her on this or not. But
Right. Yeah.
no, she does all kinds. To me, it's really weird stuff, but it's like she grows all kinds of weird herbs and mixes them together, and then it's like good for you stuff.
Like good for you stuff.
Yeah, like actually good for you stuff.
Like oils and stuff.
Yeah.
Like topical creams and.
Yeah,
shit.
creams and stuff you put in your tea and
Okay.
all kinds. I don't know. I don't really go in for that stuff. I'm like a kill it, cut it up, eat it kind of guy. So
Speaking of which, I noticed you had some fish out front.
yeah, I got to fillet those up
How long have they been there?
yesterday.
I noticed it was me and Dave, not so much me, but
Dave and I.
Dave.
Dave and I.
Always the first
Not me and
one,
Dave.
to correct.
Sheldon.
Always the first one to correct me on my improper, my poor English. So Dave is a big fisherman. I noticed you've been posting a lot of pictures of you. You've been out ice fishing.
Yep.
I noticed there's no ice now.
No, there's still ice.
Where? I